What's going on, beautiful people? ChatGPT has just released their agent mode for the $20 plus users. And honestly, I'm liking it so far. It basically, in the last video, we explored Opal, which is Google's new kind of mini app creator. And it seems like the agentic capabilities of every platform are being wrapped up into maybe one type of form of it. So let's call it ChatGPT agent. It has the power of searching the web, it has the power of the connections, it has the power of the GPT image model, it has the power of Sora, it has the power of Codex. So let's say you have an agent that is connected to all of your accounts, your GitHub, your Gmail, your Google Drive, your calendar, and it is now doing it based on the GPT models. So you have O3 working with you instead of having 2.5, Gemini 2.5 or 2.0 working with you, or Imagine 4 working with you. And so I think we're going to see this from many different companies. They're going to begin to basically just wrap up their capabilities and their products into one actual, usable interface. So let's get into it. Now, the agent abilities did come out a little while ago for the $200 plus users, and they've been testing it. But really, what this gives me is kind of a glimpse of what people were experiencing when Manus first came out. When Manus came out, everybody was going crazy. The fact that this thing has its own computer, it can go search up things on its own, go create things. And so I want to show you guys the first few prompts that I used to test this out. And we can actually see a kind of replay of this. It's basically, with this test, I have a new offer for our agency called the TVA Black Card. It's basically 2 design requests every 48 hours. And this is a new offer, so I'm trying to build out the planning of it, the rolling out of it, and I wanted to see if this agent can help me do it. So I said, using this offer, create 12 ad concepts across 3 different angles: cost versus in-house, speed versus reliability, and executive polish. And then for each, have a headline, body, visual description, proof, blah, blah, blah. So basically, it's going to take the information from my black card and it's going to devise a plan of what to do best. And so the first thing that it did was actually search up, one of the angles, which was the cost of a senior designer salary. So it goes through that. And you can actually look, you can actually go inside of the computer. Now it's restoring the computer right now, but you won't have to restore the computer. It'll be in action. But basically, you can go inside of the GPT agent's browser and do things. I've had to log in inside of the GPT browsers. I've had to do, perform actions to get it past a certain point, because let's face it, these are kind of the first really non-technical, publicly accessible AI agents. They are not going to be the absolute best. So they're still going to make mistakes. They're still going to get stuck. And we just have to weather that storm right now. I think in a couple of years, a few years, we'll really see things that are, superbly powerful. But this is taking it a step further from just using prompt sequences and instead having your prompt sequence basically in just one prompt. So I gave it all of its instructions. It doesn't look like it's going to give me the computer. So whatever, we're going to stop it. And we're going to just do an example. So I gave it all of this information. It does its research that it wants to do. It didn't really have to do much research because I gave it a lot of it. So it came up with the different concepts, and this may look like, okay, you're just getting ChatGPT, the chatbot, to do what it needs to do. But what you'll find is that this is going to save time because it is performing things on its own. So it didn't necessarily create the actual visuals, which I did expect it to create the visuals in this one. But I said, go ahead and create them. It began to create them. I said, continue, continue. And one thing to point out with the agent mode is that you have about 40 different requests every single time. So I'm not sure how they're categorized, because I've definitely put more than 5 messages into the agent. But what we can do is go to agent mode, and let's just go with one of the examples that it has down here. So we can say check Google Calendar and book a date night for next week, compare cultural rise of X, Y, and Z. So let's just do this one. Check the actual thing, Tuesday or Thursday, Korean price, whatever. So let's just see what it does. And what it's going to do is open this browser. And this is where I will be able to demonstrate the browser use. One thing to remember about these agents is that they are performing more tasks, so they will be taking longer. I mean, some tasks for me have taken 15 minutes, and I'm not mad about that at all. If it can take up a whole entire process off of my hands, if I can say, this is our new offer, create an entire marketing program where it'll build out the post for it and all that, then I think that's very cool. So now it's searching Google Calendar, and what we can do is take over the browser. So wherever it's at right now, we can go in and do what we need to. So it's not necessarily doing anything right now because it's accessing the actual tool. So let's just finish, and it's going to continue to do or perform the task that we have at hand. But if you look down here, there are many different connections that you can make. So we have web search, of course, that's already going to be on. For most people, that's on for the regular chatbot already. But you have Canva, which it is able to create designs, and you will be able to see much deeper definitions or descriptions about each one of these apps inside of the actual connector profile. So you can see the different actions that it can make. It can get design, it can create design, it can create folder. So many different capabilities, but Gmail, your calendar, Drive, Notion, and many more. Now, developer mode does allow you to have unverified connectors. So all of these are verified connectors, but if you did want to add unverified connectors, you could definitely do that as well. Now, we see that it's on Open Table. It's filtering the results right now. And what we can do is take it over. And what we can do is click on one of these. So let's say I've been to Nino's. I like Nino's. Let's click on Nino's. So now we're going to finish, and let's see if it uses Nino's as the actual restaurant. All right, so it's still going. It's basically looking at restaurants, and like I said, these AI agents can take a little bit of while, and especially using their own browser, they're not the fastest at using their own browser. So keep that in mind and just make sure that you're ready for the output and to kind of tweak it. All right, so the agent has finished. Now it went in and did everything. It selected the free evening that I have, which is on Tuesday the 29th. So okay. Then it looked up on Open Table for a table for 2. And then it searched through Italian, sushi, and Korean restaurants for at least a 4.3 and gave us these choices and also the booking link. Let's open the booking link. We get directly to it at the time that we're looking for it, or not at the time we're looking for it. So it just says we have the available time. They have the available time. So it didn't go and do it for us. And it didn't input anything into my calendar, I don't think. The 29th? Yeah, it didn't put anything on my calendar. So we definitely had that, in the thing. So if I'm being honest, like ChatGPT agent hasn't really been doing everything that I needed to do. At this point, it's been more of a time saver than an actual productivity tool. And I believe that when I go to something like Lutra AI, which we've done a video on Lutra. On Lutra. Let me take this off. Chats. So bam. When you go to Lutra, you have all of these tools and connections that you can connect, and they actually work. They actually go and do this stuff. And I just think that the GPT agent right now, as it sits, which if you don't know, the GPT agent is basically just Operator. Operator came out a long time ago, but they've just been iterating it, giving it more models to be the driver of it. And I think it's cool. I like that it can make sure that these times are available, but for more useful things, I think we're going to have to wait a little bit longer. So, what's going on, beautiful people? So I wanted to give another example inside of this video. And what we did was, in addition to getting the ads for our new offer, we are getting the GPT agent to build us a presentation for it. This is another use case that a lot of people like, so I wanted to check it out and show it to you guys. So let me know what you think. Here is the final product. Definitely worth it to check out. I definitely use it if I were you. And if you did learn something in this video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Share it with a friend that maybe they aren't as technical and they need some non-technical walkthroughs to be able to, learn AI. But ChatGPT agent right now, I'm gonna still be using it for tasks as a time saver, but I don't really expect it to get even 30% of what I want it to do, right? So keep that in mind, but also stay tuned for more videos. Also, join the newsletter, which is in the link in the description, as well as grab your copy of the SMB's Guide to AI Implementation, which this is going to be your complete guide of knowing, agents aren't good enough right now. We shouldn't focus on them. We should focus on these other tools. And it has a list of other tools, templates, sequences, everything that you'll need to know for interacting with chatbots, getting your data ready for AI, and the best practices, and how to set yourself up for a scalable future within AI for your business. So grab your copy. That link is in the description. And this has been Delo Brands. I will see you in the next video. Peace.